everybody and welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. My name's Katie and it's so nice to meet you. Today's video is on my trying to conceive story and how I got to the point in finding out that IVF was my only option to conceive. A little bit about myself. I am 23, soon to be 24. I have a partner of 7 years and I also have a stepson who is 10 years old. My partner and my stepson aren't going to be included in my videos just because I want to respect their privacy, and if they don't want to be included, that is absolutely fine. So when I was 16, I was being treated for a urine infection for many months that turned out to be appendicitis. A few months later, first being treated for a urine infection, my appendix burst and the toxins were leaked into my ovaries and my tubes. It wasn't clear as if that was going to affect my fertility as I got older. I'm still not sure, to be honest, if it played a part in it, but at that moment in time I wasn't sure what was going to happen with my fertility. So me and my partner started trying to conceive at the end of 2018. 2 years later, you know, nothing was happening. I was starting to get really worried, really apprehensive as to what was going on. I just wanted to know. So I got in touch with BCRM, which is Bristol Fertility Clinic. They have been absolutely amazing. I, to be honest, had no idea of what to expect. When I was going through all the possibilities of what could be wrong, I was then just in an absolute muddle. I just was absolutely clueless. But BCRM, or Bristol Fertility Clinic, they told me all the steps that I would need, the tests I would need, and the waiting period and things like that of finding out if or what was going on with my body. My partner also had tests. He had a semen test or sperm test, but I will touch on that in a little bit later down the line. So I had my first appointment on the 5th of October and I had a blood test and I also had an internal scan. My internal scan showed my follicle count was 15 on my left and 15 on my right, and my AMH level is 63, which indicated that I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. That day when I found out that it was a possibility I had polycystic ovaries, I had no idea how to feel. I was scared. To be honest, it made me feel less of a woman, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it just had a massive impact on me emotionally. My whole life after that just evolved around the fact that I couldn't conceive. It really took a massive emotional toll on me. So my partner also had his sperm count not long after. So he has a lot of sperm, which is really good, except the quality of them isn't very good. So along with my polycystic ovaries and his sperm together, it wasn't a very good mix, which left our chances of conceiving naturally very low. And again, that on our relationship, that took a really big toll. I had a consultation with my consultant via Zoom on the 16th of October, and she requested that I have a blood test done. So she requested that I have a full blood count, and I also had a thyroid check. And she also said that I should have, I'm probably going to say it wrong, so I'm not going to say the technical term for it, but an internal x-ray just to check my tubes, make sure they're not blocked and everything was able to flow freely. So I booked that, and quite scary, really. I found it absolutely petrifying. So the internal x-ray has to be carried out by the 12th day of your cycle. So day 1 is the first day of your period, average period is 6 to 7 days, and then day 12 is when you would need your internal x-ray. So I had mine booked for the 16th of November 2020, and what happened was I was issued with some antibiotics to take the morning of my x-ray. And when I got there, they'd done a pregnancy test just to rule out any pregnancies or possible pregnancies, and they put a speculum inside the vagina, and then they put a long tube, inserted it up to my tubes, and what they've done was they put a clear liquid injected through the tube, and as that were travelling they would take multiple x-rays to see the process that the dye took, and to make sure that there was no blockages and that was able to freely come out. So I had that done. The after pains of that was quite painful. I haven't got the highest pain threshold and I found it quite uncomfortable. So I had mild cramps. There was slight bleeding after, but obviously that is natural, it is to be expected. Once I had that, I booked to have another consultation via Zoom with my consultant from Bristol Fertility Clinic, and that was on the 18th of December 2020. In this we discussed the outcome of my x-ray, the possibility of me having a medication like Clomid, but unfortunately that wasn't an option due to my partner's sperm and also my polycystic ovaries. It just wasn't a possibility. We spoke about the next steps before I could start any treatment. So she recommended IVF with ICSI, which is where they implant the sperm directly into an egg. So it's still a 50% chance. Success rate in IVF with ICSI isn't as good as just IVF itself, simply because with IVF you're injecting the sperm into a few eggs, or quite a few eggs, sorry, and you have multiple chances of it taking, whereas IVF with ICSI, they implant the sperm directly into 2 eggs. If it takes, then that's absolutely amazing, but there's also obviously a huge chance it might not take itself. She explained to me that I would need a few blood tests prior to starting any treatment, and those tests include HIV 1 and 2, hepatitis B and C, and HTLV 1 and 2, which is absolutely fine. So I will have those tests at some point. They need to be carried out with a 3-month period or a 6-month period before starting your treatment. So I had my consultation. That was absolutely brilliant. You know, at that point I had got over the fact that I wouldn't conceive naturally and that I would need help, which is absolutely fine. I'm so grateful at the fact that in this day and age, people who wouldn't be able to conceive naturally or normally, we have medicines and treatments and specialists to be able to make someone's just dream happen, and I feel very, very lucky for that to be able to happen for me. So once I've booked my blood tests and I've had my blood tests and received the results, I will then have to book a consultation with a nurse who will go through my treatment plan with me, all of my injections, my medications, and my time frames and things like that. But once I get to that stage, I will of course update you all. Just one little thing that I wanted to add that I didn't add at the start was, due to my partner having a son already from a previous relationship, I'm not eligible for IVF on the NHS, which is fine. It is what it is, which means that me and my partner have gone private for our IVF. We've also had all of our tests and consultations done privately with Bristol Fertility Clinic, just because then rather than having it with the NHS and then swapping it over, it's all in one place, and we haven't then got to have all of our results and clinician notes transferred over. It was just a lot easier for us that way. There are a few books that I wanted to show you that have helped me massively. The first book that I want to show you is Get a Life, His and Her Survival Guide to IVF by Richard McMachney and Rosie Bray. This book was absolutely brilliant. I found it so useful. This is the first book that I got once I had my diagnosis, and it goes through their personal story, which I thought was really nice. It tells you about her point of view, his point of view, what each of them have to expect and how to prepare themselves individually, ready for tests and treatment and so on. It also has notes in here from various clinicians around the UK, which I thought was really, really good as well. The next book that I'm currently reading is Zeta West's Guide to Fertility and Assisted Conception. So this book is really, really good. It tells you again what to expect, the process, the steps, how to mentally and physically prepare yourself for it, what medications, questions to ask, and also what vitamins to take, and so on, and what to expect. And the most important thing is questions to ask your consultant or your nurse on your consultation, which is really, really important. Another thing I got was, it's a journal. It's called My IVF Journal. I got this off of a independent business on Etsy. I believe it was around £24 or £25. I will link it in the description below. This, I'm so excited to use this, honestly. I think this is just going to help so much, especially with keeping track of all the appointments, the medications, notes from the consultations. So in here it has medication checklists. It also has your little dates that you can insert any notes or anything in that you would like to. And the thing that I really, really liked about this is that it has little phrases throughout the book. For example, this one says, "Belief is an extraordinary thing. It costs nothing, yet gives you everything." And I just think that is such a personal touch. And as you're going through this emotional roller coaster and you're filling out these pages, you're filling out paperwork, and you come across one of these that you can tear out if you want to, stick on your wall, stick somewhere you're going to see it every day, just to keep your emotions up as much as you possibly can. I think that is just absolutely lovely. Another thing I also really liked about this is it has your embryo transfer day, or egg collection to embryo transfer. So it has egg collection day. You can write your notes on here, what happened, your appointments, all that stuff. It has your fertilization day. It has your 5-day wait. And it also tells you what is happening inside you on each individual day. It tells you what to expect your body to go through and all of that kind of fun stuff. But I'm so excited to use that, and I'm so happy that I bought it. Another thing that I got was, I think these were off Etsy. They were £3, and they are just these little stickers. So we have sperm collection, drug delivery, egg transfer, egg retrieval, test day, scans, injections, blood tests, all that stuff which is relevant. So rather than you writing everything out, just to remind yourself, you can take a sticker off, pop it on a page, flick to the page, and it will remind you that this day I've got to do an injection, or this day my medication's getting delivered. that is everything. I hope you really enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions at all, or if there's anything you would like me to film, please leave a note down in the comments section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.